This is the host Omar, the guy from Zoomberty, and also this other live show. We are on show 8. Today we have an exciting guest. He does a lot on LinkedIn. He does a show on Fridays with Zion, Mr. Positive. He also has been the most winningest contestant on Zoomberty. We're going to talk to him about that, how he's so smart. Why does he keep winning? Let's find out here. We're going to go ahead and play the intro, and we will talk to you guys in about 45 seconds. Show number 8, Jamie Edwards. All right, here he is. Let's bring him in all the way from Chicago, Mr. Jamie Edwards from Jam Sessions. I'm stuck here. I don't know why. 1 second here. Let me see. Oh, let me read. Oh, you're back. There you are.
Hey,
okay.
There we are.
Welcome. Well, exciting to have you here. How are you, Jamie?
I am great. How are you, Omar?
Excellent. Doing well. You are number 8 on the show.
All nice. Right. Excited to be here.
All right. Let me just show you the question board here. All right. Do we really know Jamie Edwards? Are you ready to start?
Yeah, I don't know. Right. Do I even know myself? I guess we'll see, right?
All right. Let's find out. And I think we are definitely live. If you guys want to join us in the chat box, let's see. Okay, question 1. Loading. Okay, here is actually the map of where we traveled. All right. So we've been all over. We've been to England. We've been to India. We went back with Annie, Matt. We traveled a little bit in the United States with Don Cohen. We also had Rita. We went to Florida. Now we're in Chicago. So we're very excited. Leslie's here, and she's going to be on the show next time.
Awesome.
What happened? We're having little tech issues today.
We've been all over the place, I see.
Yeah, let me bring this back in here. Okay. Yep, we have been. All right, ready for question 1. Okay. Chicken wings or chili peppers or red hot chili peppers? What do you think?
This is a spicy. You said we were going to have some spicy questions.
Spicy.
Well, okay. I obviously like the Red Hot Chili Peppers band. I mean, come on, they're a great band, right? But from a food perspective, I like spicy foods, but that's a little too spicy, I think. So I got to go with chicken wings. I'm going to say chicken wings, chili peppers, but definitely buffalo wings is my thing for sure. But I do like the band Red Hot Chili Peppers. Got to go.
How do you know I wasn't referring to the band? That could be the band there.
It could be, Red Hot Chili Peppers has a lot of good songs, and they've been around for quite some time. So both some good different topics there. But I got to go. I had chicken wings last night actually for dinner, so they were really good. So I got to go chicken wings.
Okay, so we're going to go actually with chicken wings, but also 3 is also another choice too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All good choices.
Good answer. You passed on this one. Okay, let's go to the next one here.
Yes.
Question 2. Let's see here. Our good friend Leslie Flowers.
Leslie says, yes, it is chili, CHILI, right? But maybe they're chili peppers, like maybe they're freezing peppers. I don't know. They could be frozen peppers. Who knows?
We're trying to make it so silly for us. Okay, your favorite sport to watch? You probably are a baseball person, but tell us.
Yeah, you get a good point. Yeah, I am a baseball person. That's my favorite sport to watch on TV. Some people will say baseball's kind of boring compared to other sports, but I really enjoy baseball. I'm a big Cubs fan, as people might know. I always remember where I was when they won the World Series back in 2016. And I really just enjoy baseball and the World Series around right now. And it's like every game is just like dramatic, going back and forth, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. So baseball's got to be it for me.
Absolutely, the Cubs. I remember going to one game when I was younger. I went with a friend and his parents, and it was interesting to watch one of those games. It can be boring when you're watching them, but absolutely, that World Series is on now, and I was watching a little bit of yesterday, so it's
I'm
pretty
probably,
awesome.
I'll probably offend some people here, but I'd have to say probably the boringest sport to watch is golf. That's my opinion. I'm
You gotta
sticking
wait.
to that.
Absolutely. All right, excellent on that one. Let's go to the next question.
All
Okay,
right.
it's loading. Okay, why are you so good in trivia? What makes you so good?
You know, when I was growing up, I watched, I'm just one of those people who just kind of knows a lot of like kind of different types of knowledge, just kind of useless knowledge, facts that I've seen out there. I used to watch game shows growing up and, see a lot of how these players do well in Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and all this type of stuff. And I just love different game shows and just have picked up things over the years of just useless knowledge that maybe you would never imagine you'd ever need one day. But then when it comes to the actual trivia itself, I just kind of put my brain into a different mindset, and I'm like, you know what? I'm competitive. I'm ready to go, and I want to be the best I can. So that's just kind of I switch my brain into a different mode, and I'm ready to get those questions answered.
That's awesome. Yeah, part of it too is remembering something. For me, I remember stuff. So if there's something that's unique, I remember it in my brain and store it, and then like the years later, it'll pop up if it comes on the question or something. I'll be like, oh, I remember that. So if you're storing it in there, you're able to remember that. And I have to actually, one of these days, I'm going to go back probably for the live final. I'm going to record all the ones that you got right and actually get down that, like, for example, did Jamie get 30 questions right compared to the other player, Omar, who was actually doing well? And then that'll be interesting. So for this, I'll give you the stats on how much questions you got right because you competed in the couples edition.
Yeah, that was fun.
You were also in the kudos one, and you did the first round, which you passed, and then you're going to be taping later on the semifinals game. So
yeah, I heard you got some tough. Heard you got some tough questions tonight, so we'll see how I do with this. But, it will be a lot of fun. I love Zoom Party. Let me ask you, how did you get it? I actually have a question for you. Turning around here, how did you get so? How did you get so into like game shows and Zoom Party, and what made you decide to do all this stuff?
Folks, for the first time, the guest is asking me questions. Okay, yes, I can take it. So, I mean, I've always been into game shows. I mean, I was 16 when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire came out, and I've always been intrigued in learning. And I think also my grandparents and my parents encouraged me to read and also study and learn stuff. I remember when I was like in 6th grade, we go to the bookstore, and my grandma was like, "No, you're not buying toys, you're buying books." And we bought the Magic School Bus, right? Remember those books they had?
Oh yeah, Miss Frizzle, yes.
Oh yeah, I have the whole list of. So I think I still have them somewhere in the closet. But then we read them all the time with him, and he always encouraged reading, less TV, more reading. And so part of that, and I've always loved reading and studying. Good. And then during 2020 with the COVID, I said, "Oh, why don't I make my own kind of game, Jeopardy, and ask my friends?" They always were interested in it. And the first game, which was taped back in 2020, they're like, "Oh, what is this?" It was so bad. You can even see like the first game that I posted recently. It's different, but now compared to now, it's a way big evolution. So it's awesome.
Nice. So, yeah, you learn over the time, right? And Leslie said that she liked the show Millionaire, which yes, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That's a great show. I love watching that too.
It is. Regis. Bring it back. If you guys are there, bring it back, because Jimmy Kimmel did it in 2020. I don't know if you know that. He did it in 2020, 2021. Yep. So it was great. Bring it back. It's a fun show. Okay. The time is going away so fast. Let's bring the next question here. Jamie Edwards is trying to run away from the questions, I think. Okay. Let me go here. Okay. Longest Uber ride taken. If you take an Uber ride.
Longest Uber ride taken probably was not super long, probably about an hour, honestly, from the O'Hare Airport back to home. Traffic was really bad. And on the highway coming home from a trip, coming back from Vegas, actually. So I flew in to O'Hare and then had to get an Uber back home, and took about an hour. But it was all because traffic was really bad on the expressway. And I just remember having conversation with the Uber driver and just trying to find different things to talk about, because I don't know, it was a little awkward at times just sitting there. And I was like, oh, let me just talk to this guy and find out what he enjoys and what he likes about Uber. And It made the time go a little bit faster.
I know, yeah. Either you could be annoyed by all the talking, or you're like, what can I do to talk more and get to know more about the person in there? I was like, you're there with a stranger kind of thing,
Right.
So
Yep.
the longest ride I've had was, I think, 45 minutes traveling from South Phoenix, Chandler, to up to the north where my parents were. I lived in that area a
Oh,
certain time.
wow.
And
Okay.
so this was probably before COVID. So that was, and on weekends I would go and travel, go back and forth. But yeah, I mean, 45 minutes, it's not too bad. So I
Yeah.
would
And
leave the car
Leslie,
there. Yeah.
yeah, I see Leslie sent a comment saying she wasn't talking about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with the last question. I guess there's a show called The Millionaire. So I'll have to see
Oh,
what that. I wasn't sure. I don't know what that one is. I'll have to look and see what
oh,
show that
okay.
is.
I have to see what that is. I'm not sure. She put the Wikipedia on there. So and then
Yeah.
somebody said Vegas. Whoever you are, in LinkedIn user, please
LinkedIn
unmute
user,
yourself.
yes.
I
Please
think if
reveal
we log in,
yourself.
we can see it definitely. If we log in, we should be able to see who that person is on the
Yeah,
LinkedIn there.
definitely.
But yeah, we'll definitely come with you. Okay, good, good. You passed that question. Next one. Okay,
Phew.
let's go on. All right. Leslie's saying it's an old show. Okay, who was your favorite school teacher, if you recall? Everybody has their favorite teacher who impacted them. Did you go to school there in Chicago, grade school, or even middle school, high school? Anybody you can recall? Tell us about them.
You know, it's a good question, actually. To be honest with you, as weird as it sounds, I don't remember too many teachers when I was younger, just because it was so long ago. But there was a teacher, I want to say maybe it was 8th grade, and his name was Mr. Herlocker, if I remember correctly. He was my social studies teacher, and he used to make teaching a lot of fun. Like, we would come in, and he would always have like a game set up, like right when you came into his class. Like, it might be something fun, like, oh, today we're going to play Bozo Buckets. And he would have trash cans set up, and he would say, oh, take a shot. And if you take a shot, then you're going to get a chance for extra credit and different things like that. And he always had like fun things where he mixed up our chairs sometimes and different things like that. He always kind of just made it very interesting when it came to teaching. But yeah, that was probably one of my teachers. I mean, I can honestly remember, just because he made teaching fun. But yeah, you know, I went to community college, and you know, I realized at that point, I mean, like, after graduating, get my associates, I realized at that point, you know what, school just wasn't for me anymore. At that point, I wanted to start working. I got out there and I just started kind of getting into the corporate world, and everything seemed to have worked out so far. But yeah, you know, like I said, sometimes you have good teachers and sometimes you have not so good teachers. But that was the teacher I remember most.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we all have that memory as well. I always tend to be one of those persons who likes people, but and so even in second grade, I invited my whole class and the teacher as well. And back then, we made friends with them. My family did as well. And she took us out, like, to the movies and stuff like that. And now it's probably controversial for that to do, but I mean. The teacher actually took us out, and she had a treasure box in her classroom. Every time you did well,
Oh,
you would get candy and
nice.
stuff like that. And her name is Miss Samler, and we're still in touch. And she moved to Florida. She eventually got married. And then there's other. I have like 3 or 4 teachers, at least I can think of. There's a bunch of them. There's one in Georgia who retired, who's a sub. We're still in touch. I worked with her on education. She actually created a website, me and her together. She used to do webinars before COVID. She might go back, and yeah, there's a lot of teachers that I'm in touch with. So
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Leslie's saying the show is back from the 50s. All
Oh,
right.
yes.
So we're gonna probably be doing a Zoom Birdie special with Leslie Flowers, Don Cohen, and then another guy too. So in November, we're gonna team up with them. Leslie's been wanting to do that, so we're gonna be doing 6 categories, and we'll be
Nice.
excited. So Leslie is gonna be there. We're gonna probably do it live. We'll try. So
Oh,
from the
fun.
50s and 60s. Wow. Okay, we're gonna check out what that millionaire show is.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. All right. Here's Leslie talking about her teacher here. My first grade teacher, Miss. How do you pronounce
Clayhan or
Clayhan?
Clayhan or Clayhan. Yeah, I was in the
Clayhan.
dark ages. That's funny.
That's awesome. All right. Let's go to the next question. We have about 16 minutes. Okay. Do you always wear a hat in your appearances?
That's a good question. I like that question. So, actually, it's funny you say that. So, when I was growing up, I don't know, my mom was a big believer in like having boys that have long hair. Like, if I ever show you pictures from like all the way up till 8th grade, I had hair that was like past my shoulders, like literally down to my back. Like
Wow.
my mom used to love us having short or long hair, and she never wanted us to get our hair cut. And I used to I never used to wear hats. I used to always think that I looked bad in hats. I used to kind of do my hair and part it and do different things. And then just like recently, within the last, I want to say maybe year and a half, or even maybe a tiny bit longer than that, I started wearing more hats. And I was like, well, you know what? I kind of like getting used to the way they feel, the way they look. I like my girl dad hat for my daughter, Olivia, and I have a couple different hats. So yeah, when I do my sessions and my coaching sessions, I like to be exactly the same way I am when you see me on LinkedIn, my authentic self. So I usually always wear a hat in my coachings and in my appearances and things like that. It's just kind of who I am now at this point.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to also your daughter, Olivia. She's awesome. And,
thank you.
How old is she now? She's what?
She is 3 years old. She'll be 4 in June.
She's gonna be a singer pretty soon. Hoping inspiring singer.
Yeah, with all my Tuesday shows. Yeah, we're gonna have to get more. Yes. And Leslie said, "Oh, I'm a woman of the '60s in San Francisco. I love long hair and men, as long as it's clean, please." All right. Look at, we found something. Leslie's love of long hair and men. I like that.
I think everybody had that back in the. I know my parents had that too. I've never had long hair. I mean, it would go to a certain length, and then I get criticized to cut it shorter. I guess some people are good in it, some people are not. Oh, you have a fan here.
Wow, I have no idea. That's from YouTube. That's interesting. Wow. I have no idea who that could possibly be.
That is me. Wink, wink.
Look at you. You
all right,
got me.
All right, let's go over here because we have a lot of interesting questions. Okay, who's the most interesting person you ever helped on jam sessions? I know you have a lot of people. You helped me. You were probably one of the first people who I connected with. TJ as well. He's one of the great guys who you're going to be with competing in the semifinals. But we all can remember that one interesting person that we can recall. How many people have you helped or in this?
Yeah.
Probably thousands, hundreds. And who's the most interesting? Yeah,
I've helped over 200 people so far, which I've been doing this now for a little bit over a year, which is a lot of people I've had a chance to work with, which I'm definitely blessed for that, and just continuing to work with people every day. But the most interesting person, so I always ask people in my jam sessions, tell me a little bit about yourself. I always ask icebreaker questions like, tell me a fun fact about yourself. One guy, which was really kind of a crazy thing I learned about this gentleman. His name was Peter, and he told me that a fact about himself was that he was in the actual building and when the 9/11 stuff happened.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought was really wild. Yeah, I mean, obviously, really sad what happened that day. We'll always remember that day, right? But he was in the building when it happened, and before the planes actually hit, like something was, he knew something was going on, and he ended up running out of the building and bringing people with him, and he got out in time, obviously, and he's told me this story about it, and I was like, wow, like I did not expect to see a fact like that. And that was just something I'm going to be doing a spotlight post for him soon and probably put that in his fact or whatnot. But that was something that I just couldn't believe it when I was hearing the story.
Oh, wow. Was he a recent
recent person? Wow. Yeah, I've been working with him the last couple of weeks, and I have to do a spotlight post for him, which I'm probably going to do this week. So you'll learn more about him. But yeah, but you never know what people come from. You see all sorts of different people with backgrounds and facts about themselves and stuff like that,
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. You meet different people all walks around. Yeah, that's kind of like why I like to do this and all that. But yeah, I'm sure you have a lot of stories with that. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And out of those, I'm sure you help a lot of people in terms of finding jobs, helping them out. He does that's a lot of good work there because people are needing that, all those stuff. Okay. We have just a couple more questions here. We're almost done. Okay. Do you remember when you started LinkedIn? Who's your first connection or connections you've had? And if you can put the year approximately.
Oh, man, that's a good one. So I started LinkedIn a long time ago, probably I want to say maybe 15 years ago, longer than that, but I never really took it so seriously in the past. I was one of those people, which a lot of people still do, nothing wrong with it, but they start LinkedIn or they only go on LinkedIn when they need a job or they need to find their next opportunity or whatnot, right? Which if we know LinkedIn has changed so much, it's gone from just job searching now to a place where we do videos like this, right? How well do you know somebody, or like you create content, and there's so many people out there. So I started it many years ago, but never really took it seriously until this past year, when probably a year and a half ago, when I got laid off from my last job I had, and then had to I tried coming on here looking for my next opportunity. And I said, you know what? I like what people are doing with content creating and doing all these types of things. I'm like, you know what? I think I want to start doing that. I want to build a community and start building relationships with people and just trying to start my career coaching business. So I started taking it seriously this past year and a half, and really grew a lot on this platform, thanks to meeting some awesome people like you and many other folks that I've had a chance to work with and just see their stories and stuff like that. Now, my first connection, you know what, I couldn't really tell you who my first connection was, but you know, when I first came on here and I started introducing myself to people, there were just some people who just started talking to me and saying, oh, I like your background. You know, I like what what you're doing on here. And I started seeing people kind of communicate with me, and it kind of drove me to wanting to, speak to more people and communicate with people and comment. So we just grown and grown and grown on here. And it's been great being on this platform. Fortunately, I got suspended 4 days ago, which was, I have no idea why, but I'm back now, which is a good thing.
Jamie, was that the first time you got suspended? First time?
That's the first time, and you know what? Hopefully, it never happens again. Wow. I know. I guess I could have some choice words I could say on this platform, but I'm going to keep it PG. But yes, it's just you know what? Hopefully, that never happens again, because it was a very frustrating 4 days. Not when people asking me what's going on, am I alive, and I block them, all this stuff. So exactly. That wasn't fun for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. People who know you probably would assume, it's not him who's blocking you, but it's the system or whatever happened there. Yeah, that's very crazy. I mean, I can recall happened to me too a couple of months ago, and then I also was like, "What's going on?" But then I got back on, and everything was okay. And then in terms of this question as well, most of the connections I had were college students or college classmates that I was. When I was in college, I started out. I didn't really believe in it, finding a job in the LinkedIn. I'm like, this is another social media kind of thing. You connect with people. I'm not sure if you're able, it actually works, but I believe that if you know somebody or you have somebody in the company, that's how it works. I mean, you could probably try. I didn't have any good experience in that. But were there any video sessions back then? Did they start out?
I don't think there was back then. I don't remember too many video things happening. I think LinkedIn's kind of evolved over time with the video things and the audio rooms now and stuff like that. They're trying to be more vocal with that type of stuff. But back then, I believe it was just very basic, cut and dry. You make posts, you communicate with people. There's jobs here and there, but it was never what LinkedIn was today, with what you see out there with people putting carousels out there and all sorts of different types of posts.
Exactly. Well, actually, when I connected with you and then also TJ, after that, I met Don Cohen and I was like, these people are doing like video live sessions. What is this? This is entertaining. Now it's like it went up from like a basic TV in the 50s and the 60s to cable TV to HBO and all these. And then from there, it went to YouTube and the internet. Now you have thousands and thousands of shows to watch. It's like, what are you going to watch to entertain yourself? And then with this, it's more convenient. You're just there. You click your phone.
Yep.
You can watch it anywhere, all streaming networks as well. And it's very unique. It's very interesting.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
All right. We have one more question to go. And this question I usually ask for majority of the people. Okay. If I would invent an item to help mankind, what would it be? This question I ask for everybody. What's something you can invent? Annie was saying kindness, or Rita was saying similar to that, or our TJ was saying autism, to try to cure that kind of thing. What do you think? I mean,
that's a good question. So if I could invent an item to help people out, man, it would be, obviously, many people go through health things and whatnot, right? Cancer, stuff like that, and there's some diseases that just, are brutal, and sometimes we can cure them, sometimes we can't, right? But like my grandpa, for instance, he was a great man. He lived till his like 90s, and he ended up later in his life having he had ALS. Sorry to think of. He had ALS, where for anyone who doesn't know, it's kind of like a disease where like you lose kind of the feeling in parts of your body. You can't control certain parts of your body anymore. It just kind of a disease that just gets worse and worse over
Yeah.
time. And, he still stayed positive till his last days. He was in a wheelchair, but he still always was smiling. And he just always had an attitude like, if I wake up every morning, it's going to be a great day. And if I can invent something, be something where we could try to find a cure faster for diseases where we don't have cures necessarily, like ALS. There is no cure for it right now. And they're still trying to find, ways to maybe slow it down or cure it or whatnot. And we just, you think we're in 2023, you would think that we would have some sort of way to cure these types of diseases, but unfortunately, it's just taking longer than people expect. So that would be something, if I can invent a way to speed up the process of curing certain types of diseases, that would be great. Same thing with cancer. If there was a way we can make cancer go away faster, and we wouldn't lose as many great people in this world, I think that would be an amazing thing as well, because, we've lost a lot of good people to that horrible disease as well. And, it's just, I just hate those things.
Absolutely, and I had also family who actually died from cancer and all that, and in their 50s, they're young. And with the grandpa one, yeah, absolutely. My grandpa was in his 90s. He didn't have any diseases, but he always was a learner. He played tennis when he was 90. He passed away, I think, 93 or 94 or something
Wow.
like that. This was in 2016. And
Oh,
so
wow.
it was very impacted our life. We all got emotional when he passed away and so, but because he was always in our life, caring and all that. But yeah, absolutely, we always have that one person, and definitely. And Leslie Flowers is here. I don't know how we can pronounce this, because will be on Zoomerty, Leslie. This is gonna actually be. I'm gonna put in disease acronyms, and then you're gonna spell them out for me. But
Yeah, I think it's
how do
like
you?
I think it's like amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I just call it ALS. Obviously, there's all sorts
Yeah,
of scientific
that's
names for this stuff.
absolutely. You gave me a good category, Leslie. So maybe I'll put that there. Wink, wink.
There you go. There you
Maybe we
go.
should put that. So tell me, how do you pronounce? On the other show we did fruit spilling with Matt Allen. It was so funny, like the way he was conducting it. He's a great. We're gonna do more work with him, and more funny comedian stuff, and maybe you as well. It'll be interesting. So it'll be good. All right, here is Leslie Flowers. We're almost wrapping up here. In case
Anyone wants to
She's
know?
great. Yeah, she'll be on next week's show on there.
Awesome.
Awesome. So those are all the questions. This is the point now. We just have 2 more minutes here. I want you to tell us about Jam Sessions, and tell us more about your company, how people can find you, create online LinkedIn and stuff like that. And yeah.
Yeah, great. So obviously, what I'm doing right now, pretty much, most of my time is being spent coaching job seekers. And what I do with my company, Jam Sessions with Jamie, is I do 90-minute coaching sessions through Zoom calls that are all around probably the 3 most important things when it comes to your job search, which is resume building, interview preparation and practice, and LinkedIn profile optimization. So what I do is I meet with people through a 15-minute discovery call just to get to know them better first, find out who they are, how their job search is going, and let them know who I am so they can see how my coaching style is. And then at that point, it's up to them if they want to sign up for any of my sessions or do all 3. I kind of leave it up to them. They can choose which ones they want to do. And I also make a spotlight post for everybody I work with. So I highlight them on my page. Everybody's seen my posts like that. I'm trying to help as many people as I can at a cost that's affordable for people, so they're not spending thousands of dollars on other coaches and things like that. And I try to provide 24/7 support as well. So I help people with recommendations to recruiters. I help people when finding jobs, giving feedback. So pretty much I'm in that person's corner until they can remove their green banner and they can start getting their next job and their next opportunity. So I love what I do. And I'm hoping that I can help as many people as we can. In a perfect world, everybody would be in a job, right? We wouldn't have to do this kind of stuff. But fortunately, it's not always the way it is, especially in today's age. And anything I can do to make it easier is what I try to do through my company.
Absolutely. Yeah, you helped me, and you help so many. If we help each other, if we all help each other, I'm sure the world would be a better place, but we don't. We all have our stubbornness, and we all have our me kind of thing. And but we need to get rid of the me. We need to get more of the helping others out and go out and see what people are going. There's so many things going out there, so many wars, so many that. Do what you can to help people out, because
Yes.
that's essentially, we're here for 60, 70, 80 years, and then we're gone. People are not going to remember that. They're going to remember what you did. So that
Right. They're gonna remember how you left your legacy behind and what
Exactly.
impact. Yeah, what impact did you make? Exactly. Yep.
Absolutely, that's right. So I want to thank Jamie Edwards. I'm going to put him back in the waiting room. We'll be back with him in a second here, but I'm going to do some closing remarks here. You have any last minute words?
No, thank you for having me on the show. It's been great. I'm looking forward to the Zoom party tonight. And yeah, if we're not connected, reach out to me. I'd love to meet as many people as possible. And yep, that's a little bit about me.
Absolutely. I'll be back with you in a second. And that was Jamie Edwards from Jam Sessions. Go ahead and connect with him. He's a great guy. He helped me a lot, and he helps a lot of people. He said he had over 200, and he's helping more and more people as we go. That's what we need to do. And thank you guys for joining us. Next week, we're going to be having a special guest, the one and only, as Paul says, Dr. Leslie Flowers. We're going to call her like that, and she will be in here all the way from North Carolina. We're going all over the place now. Thank you guys for joining us for this special episode 8 of Do You Really Know? My name is Omar, host of Zumberdi and also host of Do You Really Know? Take care and have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Drink lots of water and stay healthy, wealthy, and